Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lynn from Jessica Lynn Original Studios. 2 weeks ago, my family and myself had the absolute joy of attending the Old Falls Renaissance Fair 2025 at Old Falls Village Park in Menomonee Falls, Wisconsin. It was so cool. Like, I can't even tell you. We typically have gone to Bristol Renaissance Fair, and this was the first time that we went to this type of event not at Bristol, and I was completely floored. It ran from September 5th through the 7th, and the park itself was completely transformed into a Renaissance village full of laughter, music, costumes, food, and fun. Not to mention there were actual horses on the property. It was crazy. The best part is, if you did miss it, don't worry. This was the second annual, and the plan is that they're going to hold this fair again next year. And after seeing it for myself, I can promise you it's an event you will definitely want to add to your calendar. One of the first things that we were given when we arrived was a map of things to go and find, kind of like a treasure hunt for the kids, which was really cool because it included casts of characters to go and find, musical things to find, booths to go and find, different acts that they could discover. And it was really fun because it helped my kids sort of get engaged right away, because this was the first time since they were very little that they had been to a Ren Fair.
This is a sound check. This is a sound check. This is the sound check.
That was the Bounding Maine Singers, which is a musical group known for their sea shanties and maritime songs. Beautiful harmonies, tons of humor. The crowd was laughing and clapping along. The kids really loved it. Now, the other thing that the kids had such a good time checking out, and us as well, was the vendor marketplace. The marketplace itself was absolutely buzzing. There were tons of vendors who had handcrafted jewelry, leather work, wood crafts, handmade clothing, soaps, inspired costumes. As you can see here, there was even a wizard who was telling his stories to the kids. And it was so family friendly, which I loved. And again, that scavenger hunt helped the kids kind of just jump in and go, ooh, let's go find this wizard who's going to tell us a story. Or let's go and find the royal court that was sitting there playing chess. So it was really fun to be able to walk around. And I feel like this would be the perfect first step if your kids are interested in maybe going to a Renaissance fair. Price-wise, completely affordable. We actually paid for ourselves to get in, and it was under $40 for 4 people. So that was a great price, considering like if you go to some of the other bigger ones, they can cost $40 a person. So I look at this as a perfect starting place if you're thinking about trying a Renaissance fair with your kids to see how they react. There was plenty to do. We were there for probably a good 5 hours, and that park is not huge. But every single tent, every person, everyone was very engaging, which was so fun. You know, it was perfect for my kids. And then that scavenger hunt just sort of pushed it over the edge, because then they had something to go and look for. Something that I love about events like this is how much it will help connect the community, right? Like the Friends of Old Falls Village who host the event, they're a nonprofit group dedicated to preserving the park and its history. By attending, you're not only having fun, but you're supporting the local community and helping this historical site thrive. Now, I did film some of the historical homes and schoolhouses that were on this property, but I didn't think it would be perfect to put it in with this Renaissance Fair video, especially considering this was one sort of entity. But I will put together another video to show you those, because it was so cool to see such a different way of life sort of embedded into this Renaissance Fair. The other thing that I thought was really cool was that costumes were allowed. I think that having guests be encouraged to dress up, and there were a lot of people in garb, I will tell you. There were flowing gowns, doublets, armor, fairy wings, crowns, and it just always helps add to the immersiveness of the experience. But I'll tell you, even if you didn't dress up, there were ways that you could still feel like you were part of it. Like, for example, my daughter got this purple dragon, and she felt as though that was her dragon, and it flew around the entire time we were there, and she felt like, okay, next time, Mom, I want a costume. So it was really cool, and again, that's why I said this might be the perfect starting place. Not to mention, it was so low-key and just like relaxing and comfortable, and it didn't feel quite as high pressure as if you go to like a larger Renaissance fair where you feel like I have to do more or bigger things or things like that. So the other thing you can see is they had sword fighting, which was my husband's favorite time of the day. The kids were like, yes, Dad, let's sword fight. So they had these really soft foam knives and swords, and then they had shields. And best story of the trip of this adventure, basically they were out there playing, they were joking and laughing. They had each gotten each other a couple times with the foam sword, and my daughter was cheering herself on that she was so proud of what she did, and ran herself into my husband's shield, which again, that was also foam, and knocked out her front loose tooth. So she came out bloody with a with a bloody front tooth, and it was truly because they had, she had just walked into his shield, not from any of the fencing or fighting. So it was kind of funny. The other thing that's really fun about this fair is that they offer a ton of different food. So you could literally go there mid-afternoon, starving, and be well fed. They had a ton of traditional Renaissance-inspired dishes. And then there were some modern stuff too. Obviously, some of the favorites were like turkey legs, right? That's traditional Ren Fair kind of food. Pretzels, desserts, tons of different refreshing drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. But you definitely didn't leave hungry. The Old Falls Garden was a huge hit. It was just a fun place to kind of relax and get a drink while you could go ahead and enjoy live music. And in looking at the calendar, it looks like through October, they do have the beer garden up there. So you may want to take a look at the Menomonee Falls calendar. So just type in, Menomonee Falls community calendar. And they do offer a lot of that coming up. Now, we had already made our way around the fair. We were kind of like, all right, what is there left to do? And we found out there were a ton of things left to do. So off on the far backhand side of this fair, they had fencing demos. So they had fighting between two knights, which was so cool. They would show how they could strike each other and how, this is what it would do if they hit them with the sword here or here. And they actually kind of had mini battles, which was really cool. My kids were floored to kind of see that and hear like the armor in person. And then just beyond that, they also had a couple of horses that you could take a nice walk with a horse. So basically somebody would guide you with the horse. But they weren't small horses or ponies or anything. They were true large, like Belgian, very large horses. Definitely farm horses, which was kind of cool. Like the kids loved it. Throughout this as well, they also had, so if you wanted to put on your best Merida, your kids could go out and do some bow and arrow, Robin Hood, whichever one's your favorite, right? Bow and arrow, which was so cool to see. They also had axe throwing and some other stuff. So it was really cool that just when we thought, okay, I think we're just about done, looking at the calendar, which was really important, by the way, if you are going to come to this event, look at the calendar, decide which pieces of things you want to go and do, and make sure you plan accordingly. Because once we found the calendar, we were actually all excited because, so true story, the actual events for the day were on the back side of the scavenger hunt, so if we would have just flipped over the paper. But on there, we saw that there was also jousting. And I was kind of like, okay, I've seen jousting at Bristol. I've also gone to medieval times in my day, huzzah. And I was like, okay, how are they going to do jousting in this park? Now, if you've ever been to this park, it's not very big. And those horses are big. So how are you going to joust? Like, we're talking full horse, armor, the whole bit? Let me put it this way. Yes. Yes is the answer. They had full-out jousting.
I am Sir Warwick, the Earl of Greystoke, and I stand as your Knight Marshal this day! With me today, we also have our champion of the sword, Lady Rosalind! This day, you all are very fortunate. You are here to see two knights vying for who is going to be crowned Festival Champion! Okay! And we're going to start this party off by calling out your knights. My friends on this side of the field, I call forth your knight, riding in the colors of red and gold. He is the Dragon Incarnate, Sir Alexander! So we got back up.
Greatest in the land!
And now, my friends, on this side of the field, I call forth your knight, running in the colors of burgundy and silver. He is the champion of the North, Sir Malcolm, the Duke of Exeter!
Thank thee, my good people. Yes, indeed, I am the champion of the North, and with your support, once again, we shall be victorious!
Welcome!
We had such an absolutely amazing time, and the best part is it'll be back again next year, so be sure to mark this on your calendar early September to go and check out the Menomonee Falls Old Falls Renaissance Fair. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you've gone to a Ren Fair before. What's your favorite thing to do? Take care, everybody.